Alright, so just the other day I made a video blowing up some car subwoofers, and to most people's surprise I was still alive, and I don't know why that would be thought of, but regardless, as well as being alive, I'm also deciding that I should actually start building speaker cabinets and doing videos and actually doing something with this room. It was supposed to be a really sick room build, and have some massive speakers and be really clean and really nice, but I've sort of neglected from doing all of that for the last 12 months and have sort of thrown out every possible excuse I could. So what to do when you run out of excuses? Well, actually start doing things. And when I say excuses, I don't mean I'm trying to avoid it. I just have been doing other things, and now I've decided that I'm going to build the stereo and build the system back up. So I impulsively this morning decided to go to IKEA, and I bought this, which is an entertainment center cabinet thingo. It was cheap and it was surprisingly nice, and now it's here. And that is going to go there. In that is going to probably be not the CV2800, but possibly another amplifier, as well as that potentially a laptop or my PlayStation 4. I'm not too sure what I'm going to stick in it yet. Probably the PS4, because this computer here, which is my old main computer, will probably go in a custom desk over here beside my actual computer. My car looks sick. Beside my actual computer, oh, I've got a new car. Beside my actual computer, there, I'll probably stack them both there. I don't really know yet, I'm just toying with ideas, but I've actually started. I actually went out and bought something, and we're actually gonna make something happen in today's video related to the stereo and related to the room, and actually making progress on it. How exciting. So if you are interested in that, of course, stick around, because that's what we're gonna be doing in today's video. Shows the video some support if that is something you're excited about, because stereo videos and videos as a general will be coming back. So I'm going to vacuum the floor where the old stuff was, because it's kind of gross. And there we have it. The vacuum does what the vacuum is supposed to do, and now the floor is clean and has no dirt on it. So I think I'm just going to walk through basically everything I'm doing as I'm doing it, and that's the leftovers from building this. I'm not even going to ask. The stuff that's here is obviously the rear speakers there, and then down here is the power source for the TV, a power supply for the LEDs for the TV, and the HDMI cable for the TV. So that stuff obviously is just going to stay there. We're going to move this back, but let's just quickly go over obviously why I've decided to pick this one. One, it was probably the best looking one for, well, the amount of money I wanted to spend on a TV cabinet. Number two, reason is there is a lot of storage, and now I'm going to manually focus it. There's a lot of storage in here, a lot of storage in here, pre-cut holes, which is really nice, and of course these are glass, and these open up, and there's plenty of storage in there. Don't stand on them. And it gets even better, because if you see how it's suspended from the ground there, below these drawers is even more storage, which means all my power boards, or I forget what people call it, power strips or something in America. We call them power boards, these things. I'm going to fit two of those underneath, and you're not even going to be able to see any of the wires or anything. It's all going to be completely hidden, and then what's necessary will be run up the back and into here. I was going to say there and here at the same time. Into these and up here for the correct things. So you can tell I'm really rusty with the camera, but this is going to work perfectly. This is going to be really good. You can see my hand movements in the glass, even though I'm not doing it on camera, because I do that when I talk. Sick. Let's move this into place and start loading it up and start doing wiring. And I'll basically just walk through everything I'm doing. It's been a very long time, so the video will be rusty. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, and now it's the next day, and as you can see, I've done a little bit, but not a lot. All I've done is move this bench to here, put the amp on top of it, and I decided to see if I liked that with the aerial up, but I think I've concluded that it needs to stay folded down. I don't use it, so it doesn't need to be up. But what I've decided here is that we're going to run that temporarily like that with the computer beside it. Then when I get my power amp, it'll go in there and the PlayStation 4 can go in there. I won't need space for the laptop because I'm going to use the computer. And then eventually when I build my, oh, look at my car. When I build my custom desk for over here, I'll have both the computers sitting on the ground there. So I think temporarily I'm going to get rid of the sub box for this. And I'm probably going to use the HO12s for my new subwoofers and then build stands coming out of the subwoofer boxes, do a vibration dampening, build some sort of vibration dampener, and then have the bookshelves on top of those. So the subwoofers will be there and there. Then there'll be poles on top of the subwoofers, which will go up, vibration dampeners, then the bookshelves painted white on top of those. Now I think that's what I'm going to go for. For the short term though, the bookshelves I don't have stands for, so I probably am going to retire, not really, but I'm going to stop using them for the minute, and I'm going to put some tower speakers in here, which will not only be able to provide more bass than these will, just to get me by temporarily, but they'll also be at the right height for listening to music. Again, purely temporary. They're going to sound way worse than these speakers do. These speakers sound amazing, but this is for a short-term plan. In the long term, I'll get these speakers painted and they'll go on those custom poles on top of the custom boxes, which I'm yet to build, and I'll get 123 Toyed to design. So I think that's the temporary plan, or the temporary solution. What is there to do now? Well, we're going to have to hook up the amplifier and everything else, because whilst I've just positioned this here, there is absolutely nothing plugged into the back of the amplifier, and there is absolutely nothing plugged into the back of the computer, but all the wires are chilling here, so we're going to have to do that, and that's, well, exactly what we're going to do now. So I might grab those tower speakers, position them in place, and we'll get ready to start setting this system up, and yeah. Sounds good. All right, so I figured it would be about time to film another update. I can't remember where I last left off, but I definitely know for a fact that I hadn't started wiring stuff. So now the computer's there. These speakers are here, which are temporarily going to be there. Same over this side. Now I'm kind of tempted at the moment to just build a box there for the Ultimax 10 and buy a tower speaker stand, bookshelf speaker stands for the bookshelf speakers to have them up there, paint them white. I feel like that would look clean, and I feel like honestly the Ultimax 10 by itself would do. But regardless of the fact, I am now changing the resolution of the PC's output from 4K to 1080p 60 FPS because, well, again, here's that extra bit of space that I was talking about, how beneficial it would be. If we look down into here, I have begun on the wiring. I'm manually focusing this because I know it won't focus. My computer's still making noises. But if we look, what's that there? That is a Chromecast. So I'm going to be running a Chromecast in here. As well as that, we have, you can see the blue wire in the back, which is currently plugged straight into the computer, an Ethernet source. So what's that mean? Well, I'm going to run a switch. See, this whole area here is absolutely perfect for what I want to do here. I can put my internet switch in there, and then from there I'll run a line to the computer, I'll run a line into the Chromecast, I'll run a line to the receiver, and I'll run a line to the TV. Then my camera will struggle to focus a bit, but then I will have absolutely perfect internet that's hardwired for every single thing in here. It's going to work out perfectly. So that's basically what I'm up to now. I've plugged everything in. I think I'm going to completely reset this computer and delete everything off it because it is unbelievably slow. And then once I've done that, we're going to start wiring in the Ethernet, and that is going to start wrapping this up. But yeah, this space here is just working perfectly for stuff like that because it gives me so much storage area for wires and things, and yeah, really, really good. Really happy with what I've done here, and I think it's only going to get better and better. Alright, so another update. It's now a few hours later, the sun's setting, and I've been distracted so many times. Nonetheless though, everything is functioning, and I've left this drawer out to show you what's going on down here. So, on my receiver, actually let's grab the remote. On the receiver, we have this button, which is the Chromecast. This button in the middle, which is the PC, which is doing a full, complete and utter reset. I don't know why that looks so formatted weird, but it's completely resetting itself. I'm deleting everything off it. It is unbelievably slow, and it's decently spec, so it shouldn't be that slow. As well as that, you press game, and the PlayStation 4 connects, which is down there. Charging a controller in sleep, or whatever the mode's called. I don't use the PlayStation very much, don't hurt me. Anyway. So put this back to the Chromecast. Best I point it at the receiver. Put it back to the Chromecast. And there we go, it works. So, coming down to here, moving all the rubbish out of the way, turning on manual focus so you can see what's happening. Down here we have an internet switch, which as you can see is out of focus and very, very blurry because it's very dark down here. But it has every single line plugged, which means everything that needs to be hardwired is hardwired, which means my internet connection down here is solid as. This is hardwired, that's hardwired, the Chromecast's hardwired, the PC's hardwired, the TV's not because it has absolutely no purpose to be, and it has just enough Wi-Fi signal that it could do software updates if it needed to, but besides that, all my music for Spotify, my YouTube and stuff, and Netflix, I'm not using the TV's internet for that. I'm doing it through the Chromecast because the Chromecast seems to be a lot more consistent. In my experiences comparing the two, the Chromecast seems to be a lot more consistent with not buffering, and it seems to stream way better in 4K. That is a Chromecast Ultra or whatever it is. That seems to stream a lot better in 4K than the TV does. So, mind me burping. There's a bit of wires happening down here, but the reality is it doesn't matter because once I put this drawer back in, which just has a headset in it, you can't see any of it. Perfect. It's exactly how I wanted it to be. So we'll move back and I'll show you more of what's happening. So what is actually going to happen now with speakers, and well, let's talk about it. These are Akusound tower speakers. They sound terrible and I don't like them. So these are custom speakers, which if you haven't seen the build video, go watch it. I don't know why you haven't. These are going to get painted white. I'm going to paint that one white. I'm going to paint that one white. And then what's going to happen? We're going to get some speaker stands, just like these ones here. They're cheap. They can conceal the cables on the inside. They also have carpet spikes, which is apparently essential when you have carpet. Anyway, I'm going to get those, and they're going to go there, and they're going to go there. We've got the PC on the side here, and I'm going to build a box that is very, very similar dimensions to that computer and get 123 Toyed to design it so it's tuned correctly to go on this side for the Ultimax 10. So it'll be the Ultimax 10 and the computer. The Ultimax 10 I intend to power with the Dayton Audio SA1000 or similar amplifier, pending on what Parts Express says when I reply to them. And that's going to go there. So like the PS4, that power amp there. I'm probably, I've been speaking with Parts Express, going to get some sort of DSP software for that amplifier as well for the subwoofer, which means I will be able to calibrate the subwoofer to the room, which would be absolutely awesome. So it is tuned correctly, not only for the box to be tuned correctly, but the subwoofer itself with its EQ is set correctly as well. And then I'll let the amplifier calibrate for the room, and we'll get this set up just perfect. That's exactly what this needs to be. It needs to be clean, it needs to be neat, it needs to be tidy, nothing overkill, just perfectly and working and functional. And that's the trap that I fell in that stopped me from getting motivated with it, is because every solution I had to make this epic wasn't going to work and it wasn't going to work. So we have the computer there, we'll have the 10-inch Ultimax there, which is more than enough volume. Look, I have neighbors now that live just there, so my intentions to piss them off like I pissed off my last neighbors are not there. I purely want to just keep the volume down, keep everything nice, keep everything happy. And quite frankly, an Ultimax 10 in this room gets so loud that it's more than I could ever need in terms of bass. I mean, for the last year, I've got away with the 8-inch HF down there on like 200 watts. It's really enough. I've sort of gone away from my bass days, I'll be honest. I know it's pretty sad, but yeah. We're going to make this room clean though. And I've got to get some sort of acoustic foam up there, and I want to get some decorations. And we're going to have a bench in the middle here, and it's going to have a rug underneath it, and it's going to be the bench, and it's going to have some sort of little fake plant on it so it's decorative, and it's going to have all the remotes and everything laid out. I just want to make this room really neat and tidy and just a man cave instead of just doing overkill with the stereo system. But I'm going to clean the room up, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, and here we are a couple days later again. Ignore the floor carpet lines from the vacuum. It's not super symmetrical, but I'd rather have a clean floor and have it look like this. Regardless though, here we go. It's all done for now based on what I can actually achieve. So I guess we talk about it for a second. Our next step, I'm gonna get the stands for the left and the right speakers. I've decided I might actually not paint the rear speakers and the front speakers. I'll just get the stands and see what they look like on the stands first, and then I'll consider painting it. I just think it's going to be a lot of work because I chose ply. For these, there's going to be a lot of filling and a lot of priming needed to be done to, one, get coverage over the water-based paint that's already on there, because I usually use oil-based paint, and two, being plywood, all the edges aren't really that smooth, so it's going to take a lot of coats to finally get that perfect flat finish that I would achieve with MDF pretty easily. So that's that. The next step in terms of subwoofers will be to get a power amp to put in there, to build a box for the Ultimax 10 to go beside there that is similar dimensions to that computer, and I'll talk to 123 Toy about getting that designed. And yeah, the stands for the speakers. And then this system here will be done, I guess. It'll be more complete than it was or is at the moment. I probably might get some sort of mat for the middle here. If not, I'll just get it, or a mat to go under a table. I'll definitely be getting a table for the middle. I'll either get a mat for under it or not, I'm not sure yet, but I want something there, the little decoration on it, and this stuff that sits here to go on that table. So there's a mouse pad, a mouse, a keyboard, and my remotes to sit just there on that table. I think that would be really, really nice. Then the next big thing is over here, and as you can see, I'm editing the video that I'm currently shooting. What I want to do is build a custom desk for over here. So what I've got here is pretty well exactly how it's going to stay. The desktop just needs to be the size that I intended it to be, because it's currently a 1500 by 7500 desk, and it needs to be 2100 by, I think I'm going to stick with 750 mil deep. So I'm going to stick with this depth because this is ample when the monitors aren't on it, but I'm going to make it go the entire width. And this subwoofer will go up in the corner, basically where it is now, but on the inside of the desk. The amp I'll mount up to the top of the desk over here, so the amp will sit here and the volume knobs will be like literally here, which would be perfect. The computer's going to come up because this is a really, really pretty computer case, and it has glass on this side, which you can't really tell. It's a pretty computer case, and it needs to be shown off on the top of a desk and not on the floor getting dusty and dirt through it. So that'll go up beside the monitor here, because I moved the monitors over when I built the house, well, when I placed where these are going to go, so there'd be enough room for the computer there. It'll be a white top. It'll be a very similar design to this. It'll be a white top that'll be thicker, then the sides will be matte black, and I'm going to try and match it as close as I can to the matte black of that. So the sides will be MDF, the top will be custom made. That's all of that. Out there's a bunch of rubbish, which is the leftovers from all the IKEA stuff and the rubbish from that. I've now walked on my fresh carpet, damn it. But yeah, that's the progress on the room. That's how it's happening. That's what's happening. I hope you guys have enjoyed this like talking video comeback sort of thing. There's a lot of things that have changed in here now, and I'm actually really, really happy with the way this is looking. Last night I had this all lit up and it was looking amazing. What I'll do actually, I'll close my blinds. Sorry to flex. That's not really a flex, but it feels really, really cool. I'll crank all the LEDs on and I'll turn everything on, and we'll show you what the room looks like at night time, because it looks pretty damn awesome. So get this remote here, turn the strip on behind the TV, turn the strip on behind here. We'll go with blue for the TV. My camera really struggles to focus at night time. We come back here, there's the click here for the IKEA thing down the bottom. And I mean, I'm gonna manually focus, there we go. So you can see just how sort of pretty this looks. And if that TV was on as well, it looks even better. Let's turn the TV on, right? Then we'll turn the receiver on, and then we'll turn the receiver to the Chromecast, because that'll just display, we all know what the Chromecasts do, they display like a nice pretty image. So once the TV comes on, yeah, you start to get the vibe here of the room. I don't like red. Red's not looking good at the moment. Let's see if I can get a different color. Let's go with the pink. Oh, I turned it off. I haven't really worked out how the IKEA one works yet. You sort of just gotta wait. I probably shouldn't have picked an IKEA one. I impulsively bought the IKEA one while I was at IKEA. Yeah, my TV needs a software update, but now, yeah, you get the vibe. Let me adjust the ISO myself. Yes, look at that. That's the view. Let's So the thing is, if I get rid of the thing where it says update now, I can never get it to come back for ages until it's inconvenient. I'm just gonna press update. But we'll get my thumbnail there. Damn, this room looking really, really good. So anyway, thank you for watching. Chuck a like on the video if you're keen to see more videos with this room. It looks awesome. Oh, not to mention, I also have this as well. The L doesn't really light up, does it? Anyway, yeah. Nah, this looks sick. Okay, I'm really happy with this. Regardless, I'm gonna say it for the 50th time. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. That's everything that's happened to the room recently. I hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe because there'll be more stuff on this room. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video, which will hopefully be sooner rather than later.